Once a bustling office building, now stood an eerie structure with an ominous elevator at its core. The building had been abandoned for years, but rumors still circulated about the elevator that kept going down and never stopped. One dark and stormy night, a group of teenagers decided to explore the abandoned building. They heard the rumors about the elevator and wanted to see if they were true. They entered the building and found the elevator at the end of a long hallway. The doors opened with a creak, and they stepped inside. Now, this elevator only had one button, the down arrow. The teenagers pressed it, and the elevator began to descend. They felt a strange sensation in their stomachs as the elevator went down and down, deeper than they ever thought possible. The floors blurred past them, and the darkness outside grew more intense. Suddenly, the elevator jolted to a stop. The teenagers looked at each other, startled. They pressed the button to go back up, but nothing happened. The elevator was stuck. They tried to pry the doors open, but they wouldn't budge. They were trapped. The only thing they could do was wait for help to arrive. They huddled together, trying to stay warm in the chilly elevator. Hours passed, but no one came. The elevator remained stuck, and the darkness outside grew even more ominous. They heard strange noises coming from the shaft, as if something was moving in the darkness below. Suddenly, the elevator began to move again, but not up. It just kept going down, and even deeper than before. The teenagers screamed as they felt themselves falling, their stomachs lurching with each passing floor, but the elevator never stopped. It kept going down and down until they reached the very bottom of the shaft. The doors opened, revealing a dark and foreboding chamber. The teenagers hesitated for a moment, but then curiosity got the best of them, and they stepped out. The chamber was filled with strange machines and equipment covered in dust and cobwebs. There was a strange glow emanating from a corner of the room, and the teenagers cautiously approached it. As they got closer, they saw a figure standing in the corner, its face shrouded in darkness. They called out to it, but it didn't respond. They moved closer, and the figure suddenly turned around, revealing a face twisted with madness. The teenagers screamed and tried to run back into the elevator, but it was gone. They were trapped in the chamber with the madman, and they knew they would never leave. They were doomed to spend eternity in the depths of the abandoned building. The years passed, and the teenagers were indeed still trapped in the depths of the abandoned building, slowly losing their minds as they tried to find a way out. The madman in the corner tormented them every day, taunting them with his insane ramblings and strange experiments. One by one, the teenagers succumbed to the darkness, their minds unraveling as they were consumed by fear and despair. But one teenager refused to give up. He held on to his sanity, even as the world around him crumbled. Day after day, he searched for a way out, trying to find a weakness in the chamber's walls or ceilings, but the walls were far too thick, and the ceiling was way too high. He had no tools, no weapons, and no hope. Desperate, he turned to the only thing he had left, his two hands. He began to dig, clawing at the gravel and dirt with his fingers, tearing away at the earth with every ounce of strength he had left. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. His hands bled and blistered, but he kept digging, only sustaining himself by eating the worms and insects that he dug up. He was driven by fierce determination to escape. His fingers started to become mangled and deformed, his bones grinding against each other as they scraped away at the earth. But he never gave up. He kept digging through pain and exhaustion, through hunger and thirst, until one day, his hands broke through the surface. He had tunneled his way out, using nothing but his own willpower and his unyielding determination to survive. He stumbled out into the daylight, blinking in the bright sun as he breathed in fresh air for the first time in years. His hands were nothing but lumps of bone and tendons, twisted and gnarled from months of digging, but he had made it. He had managed to escape the elevator that kept going down and never stopped. and he had done it with nothing but his own 2 hands. He walked away from the abandoned building, his mind scarred by the horrors he had witnessed, but his spirit unbroken, his will to survive stronger than ever.